Hey everyone out there in Spreecast world. Sorry I didn't get to come in last week, but we're here this week, and as usual, we bring you only the best. We're gonna be talking with Jordan Malik this evening, and we're gonna be talking about sourcing products online. Jordan also does offline stuff, but today we're gonna really be talking about sourcing products online, and I'm sure that, persons who are on this freecast, you will benefit a whole lot if you, as usual, take action on the things that are discussed. So I am here with our special guest for this week, Jordan Malik. Let me try to get Jordan back on screen. Just give me, I'd like to get a check-in from the chat room. Is my audio okay? What's up, Big George, Denise, Annette? How are you guys doing? Hey, Carol, how are you? Okay. Jordan is just refreshing his screen, so we're just gonna, give him a minute or so to get back in, and while everybody else files in, guys, are you hearing me? Okay. We have 34 live on there. Okay, great. Sounds great. Yep. All right. We're just gonna give Jordan a little time to get back in here. He has to do a refresh on his screen. We were up earlier, and everything was fine. So let's just give, you guys can go ahead and chat. I'll just see if I can get Jordan right back in on Spreecast. Nancy, how are you? Great. Nice to have you guys here. We're just giving Jordan a minute to get back on the call. So, guys, just stay tuned. Let's work out this little hiccup to kick off. Mark Levine, how are you? Leslie, how are you? Excellent. So, how's everyone doing? How was your first quarter in with Amazon for the year? How was the first quarter? Jason, you're checking in. Hey, Jerry, what's going on? I love to see everybody queuing up, queuing in. Ellsworth McIntosh, how are you doing, man? My brother from Japan. All right. All right, let me see if we can get Jordan back on here. Donald, Julie, Sean. Just one second, guys. Let me go ahead and try to get Jordan back on. That's interesting, Jason. You made your first order 100% from money from profits. It's a great feeling, I tell you. It is a great feeling. And that's what we are all encouraged to do, ramp up your game, bring it to the next level where you can actually be able to do that. And it's possible, it is possible. So these are just some things that you guys, okay, here we go. All right, guys, we are coming back up to live. I'm gonna bring Jordan on screen. No problem, Sean. That's the great thing about Spreecast and doing it this way. You can learn so much by being on Spreecast, guys. It is amazing. There you are. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Malik, Jordan Malik. Hey, Jordan, how are you?
Thank you very much. This technology, man, I can't stand it.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes. That no rush, no problems. This is Spreecast. It's a new platform. It's an excellent platform, and we are working to ensure that this is a great way to share content with your followers. So this is definitely something that it's in its growing phases. We're working on it, but it's definitely a great platform, great way to interact. So thank you so much for coming on the show today. And
It's a
most
pleasure,
of
man.
most persons always talk about, how can we find sources online? That's the key. The biggest question I get, Jordan, right now I can tell you, the biggest question that I get is, where can we find profitable inventory? Hands down, that's the biggest question for an Amazon seller, whether you're just starting out, whether you're in the game for a long time and you need to move forward. But that is the biggest question. And what is, great about you coming on the show is you get to address that problem where there's so many persons trying to find great inventory. Sometimes you find great inventory, and guess what? Either Amazon comes on there or you have 50 sellers that go on there immediately. So you always have to be diversified, thinking outside of the box. No, just give us how did you get started, and what do you have to offer in terms of online sourcing?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I don't know. I got started like most other folks. I was selling on eBay, and my first real experience in selling products like on eBay seriously was when I had to file bankruptcy. I had to file personal bankruptcy about 2000, on the year 2000, 1999, 2000. And my lawyer said you got to liquidate. I had a really bad business partner, and he said you got to
Oh,
liquidate all your. You hear me okay?
one second, Jordan. Let me see. They're saying they can't hear you. I'm gonna see if I can turn you up
Oh,
a little bit here. Hold on.
I
I'll
hear
turn you.
audio dropping in and out.
Okay, hold on. Guys, are you hearing me? Just checking in.
I can
Just give
hear
me a
you.
check in the chat room. Okay, great. Jordan, you go ahead and let's just see. Okay, he said loud and clear. I can hear you
Good.
great, but sometimes you just need to. Let me see if I can just turn your mic up here.
Okay. Is this better? I just moved my mic closer.
Yep. I think I hear you way better. There is.
Okay,
How is
good.
it
Okay.
for everyone?
Okay, they can it looks like they can hear us. Okay.
Nancy said, "Move even closer."
Move even closer. Okay. It's only a tiny bit better. Just Jordan is a little soft. Let me see if I can turn up my microphone. My microphone. My microphone's on a maximum setting. Brian Creature
Yep, I
says
can
that's
hear you nice, loud and clear.
good. Excellent. Okay. All right. So no, Barrington, I got my start like everybody else. I started selling on eBay, and I just dabbled in it. And I was going through a lot of dead end jobs. I had an MBA from Boston University, and I was making basically a glorified marketing assistant for a long time, like 15, 20 years. And my last, I always had Amazon on the side, eBay at first on the side, and I would do things like I would buy cordless phones on sale and get the rebate from Staples, and then I'd have to cut the little barcode out, so I'd get $10 back on the phone I spent $30 on, and I'd sell it for like 50 on eBay. I was making $10, $20 for like a new cordless phone, right? And I
Right.
did that for a long time, and then I started dabbling in Amazon, not FBA, just selling in toys. I was doing toy arbitrage, buying toys on sale locally and then reselling on Amazon, and just making about like 5, 6 grand a year in profit. And then I got fired from my job at an ad agency in 2010. It was February 2010, and I got fired for every good reason because it was one of the worst jobs you can probably have in marketing. It's just extremely boring job. Flying, my client was Eli Lilly, the drug pharmaceutical company, and trying to explain to them how pay-per-click advertising works. It's just, it's like
I know.
it's like talking to a wall. So I was miserable, and they could tell that, and they fired me. And I had my wife and I shared one car, We had like 90,000 miles on it. She was a house cleaner, cleaning houses here on Long Island. And I got fired, and I was starting to read about selling on Amazon. I think I read Nathan Holmquist's book about, which was, it's free now. At the time, it was like $27, about how to make money selling used books and CDs and DVDs on FBA. And my father-in-law, we must have the most libraries like per capita on Long Island, because there's literally like 80 libraries in all of Long Island, New York, at least 80. And my father-in-law used to drive me when I got after I got fired. We'd go like every day. He would drive me to the libraries, and I this is only three and a half 4 years ago. So he would drive me to the libraries. I'd get out and I'd go in with I had the big clunky needle scan PDA scanner, and I'd go in and I'd say to the librarian, do you have any used books here? Because every library around here, I don't know about where else you are, but every library around here has a little rack that has used books for sale, like whatever they call it, remnants. And that's not, I forget the name, but they put the books there, and 1 out of 3 libraries had a book that was worth 10, 15, 25, $35, sometimes
Right.
$100. And it was almost the equivalent of kind of like picking up found money,
Right.
because I was one point, I have one of my old videos I was showing people like 3 or 4 years ago. I did like $2,000 profit in like 2 weeks. And then it snowballed from there. And my wife turned to me. She says, you look really like this selling on Amazon stuff. Do you think you could make it a full-time job if you want? And if you wanted to, I was like, yeah, I want to. But at the time, she's from the old school, so she's like, at first she was like, this isn't gonna work. You're not gonna make any money, and doing this. But as soon as she saw the actual revenue coming in, and she was like, "Wow," she's like, "Do you want to take this full time?" And I said, "Sure." And it grew from there, where I started. I was one of the first people to be the big promoter of the idea of selling collectible, which I still call used toys, on Amazon. So my wife and I would go to the area thrift stores or church sales and buy board games or toys for like $1 a piece or whatever. And some of these were selling for 35, $40, and it
Nice.
just expanded from there into retail arbitrage, and doing the thing that all these members that are on the call with do today, finding stuff locally or online super low, and selling it high.
And you hit the nail on the head, finding it, super low, a great price. And guys, Jerry, the story that was just given is just to show you that you could start right in your backyard. It doesn't have to be, oh, no, where do I go find these things? I need to go to trade shows. That's when you get to the next stage of your game. To start off, just look in your local area. There's gold
Yes.
mine wherever you are. I always advocate for that. Look in your local area, and there are, finds that you can make and turn a profit. That's going to be huge. Picking up what's the most you have sold a book for, and how much did you pay for it?
Probably $150 for a used book. I've received $150 for a used book, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because as my father-in-law would drive me around, and we were both eating like hot dogs from 7-Eleven while doing all this. You know what I mean? It's not like we were dressed in suits walking around with barcode scanners. I was broke, and
Right.
one of the libraries I went into in kind of like the inner city part of Long Island, I walk in and all the students are on the computer with their headphones on, and
Right.
nobody's looking at the book. Nobody's looking at the books. Everybody's surfing the internet because it's free. And I asked the lady there. I said, "Do you have any used books here for sale?" And she says, "Yeah." And they were like untouched, like on the book rack. They were like brand new books. And I picked up one, and I think it was like some flight training manual for like federal aviation something. It was a brand new. It was in essentially brand new condition. And I said, "How much are these?" And she goes, "Oh, they're free. You just take whatever you want." And I said
What?
free. And I said, yeah. And I sold that particular book. I think I sold for like $150. And I'm sure there's probably been other examples that are like that. But getting back to your point, and I know we're talking about online for this session, but what's interesting is that some people will contact me, because I run a number of, maybe people know here, I run my blog and I run several websites that help eBay and Amazon sellers. And I get, every now and then I get somebody who says, I'm in a desperate situation. I need to know what I can sell right now to make some money, which is, you're just starting out and you're in a rush. That's like a very difficult proposition to put yourself into. You know what I mean? To put
Right.
put that kind of pressure on you to say, right, I need to make money right away. I mean, that's like the wrong approach. And I'll tell these people, I'll say, start selling on Amazon, register for an Amazon seller account, and for your first inventory, you need to go around your house and pick up
That's it.
any 100% complete games or toys that are 100% complete, or new packaged baby items, or used or new books, CDs, DVDs, and sell that stuff. And I think Cat Simpson says like every home's got like $3,000 worth of stuff they don't want.
They
And
do.
people will actually email me back and they'll say, some of them will email me back and they'll say, that's the most ridiculous idea I think I've ever heard of. And and I'm like, wait, you want inventory right away? And then I'll say, then me being a sucker, I'll say, well, okay, well then go ask your friends. Like post something on Facebook that says, does anybody have any used toys or games or books or DVDs they want to get rid of? I'm sure your friends have a box of something somewhere.
Yes,
And
they do.
if you just did that all day long, and then you combine that with like FreeCycle, which is a site here in the U.S. where people can post stuff that they're putting out to the curb that's valuable, it is literally all around you. You can't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And I think that's the problem. And the other problem is that many people who get into selling on Amazon, they want to have the sexy story. They want to be able to say at a party with other Amazon sellers, I drop ship iPods and I make 30% profit margin. Or they want to say, I sell Xboxes, or I sell Xbox games. And nobody wants to walk in the room like me, which I have no problem doing, walk in the room and saying, I sell themed party goods from Party City that I bought for $1 and I sold for 12. Doesn't sound sexy, right? It doesn't sound
Yeah,
sexy. But
but it
I'll
works.
take the 500% net ROI. If you don't want it, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
So I think that's
Makes
the
sense.
problem. Is a lot of sellers are out there. Sorry to interrupt you. A lot of sellers are out there, and they're afraid of what other people are going to think. And to me, all I see is the money.
That's it.
You know?
I that's one of your books. You see a plush bunny, I see money, honey. I like that.
Wow, wow. You get a free copy for that one. You get a free copy. You get a free copy for that one. Now listen,
I love that.
I appreciate that. I have to agree it was a good title. I don't give myself a pat on the back too much, but it was a good title. But that was another thing that everybody, if you listen too much to the seller forums, the Amazon seller forums, the free ones that are officially hosted by Amazon, a lot of finger waggers on there saying you can't sell used plush, you can't sell used plush toys. And I said, well, if you're just going to say that, then I'm just going to have to write a book about it, and I did, and my point was is like, no, okay, you're not going finding plush with vomit on it and baby puke and then putting it in a poly bag and selling it. There's a lot of plush toys that are out there that are virtually throwaways to the owners, the homeowners, the people that are going to the thrift store. It's
That's
perfectly
correct.
clean. Some of them still have the cardboard retail tag. Most of them have the little tush tag, which collectors look for, the little cloth tush tag on it, and they're worth a lot of money. I mean, 1 out of 10 that you find is going to be worth 15, 25, 35, $100.
Whew,
You know.
nice.
So yeah. And that's what I like to do is I just share that information because the first thing that I can't stand is when somebody says you can't do that. Oh yeah. Well,
I'm gonna do
I
it.
can do that, and I'm going to teach other people how to do it.
Makes sense. And guys who are on the call and persons who are going to be listening to this recorded, I don't know if anyone has picked up. It's a mindset. Once you've changed that mindset, you're now able to start thinking creatively, thinking outside of the box. Oh, I've heard that you have to make 3 times your investment, or it doesn't make any sense. I will take $4 all day long and sell 2,000 of that item. It doesn't matter to me.
Uh,
It's the
okay.
profit. It's not about, the rule says you have to buy a product and make 3 times as much.
Right.
That is, you're talking about net profit. If I only sold $80,000 on Amazon for the year and my net profit was 45,000, I'm happy. Guess what? Some persons who sell 500,000 may not even be making that.
Yeah.
They make big
Exactly.
numbers, but what is the bottom line? Where is the
Right.
gravy? You need to know you're making that net profit. So, guys, it's the mindset. As Jordan just alluded to a while ago, it's all about the things that are around your home. Ask your friends. The plush toys, they carry big prices. As you said, you're not going to find those dirty ones and say, hey, okay, I'm going to stuff this in a poly bag so it looks nice and clean and ready for the market. You are going to think creatively. Think about how you can bundle this plush toy. Think about ways that you can really add value to persons who really need it. And Jordan talks about buying on eBay and reselling on Amazon, and those are, it's just like, to me, sourcing is unlimited. I can tell you that sourcing is unlimited, but you have to think of a creative idea that not everybody is doing, and that's when you stand out from the pack.
You're absolutely
That is
right.
definitely when you stand out
And
from the
just
pack.
because if you try something and it doesn't work the first time, don't drop it and say, I'm never going to do this again. Because you might go to, like, my wife and I used to do thrift stores a lot, and we might go in one day and we see like 20 other people with scanners. She'll be like, or I'll say, well, we can't come back here. Why are we going to even bother coming back here? But the reality is that it's totally random, right? So the next day you go back in to that same store and there's nobody with scanners and there's like $300 worth of stuff there, right? So, so you have to stay optimistic, and you have, when everybody is going one way, you run the other way. A lot of
Makes sense.
online. Let's talk about online for a minute. A lot of online folks who procure stuff online will get discouraged. Like, I remember everybody who was selling on Amazon was buying Disney. Everybody was going to the disneystore.com sales and buying the same stuff because everybody kind of figured it out all at once. And the reality is it got saturated. It's like about maybe about a year ago or so. It got saturated. Everybody had Disney product because everybody was, all FBA sellers were going on to DisneyStore.com, buying the stuff and putting it on, and the reality is that kind of came and went. So now, maybe not today, but a month ago or so, it was kind of not hip anymore to buy stuff from
Right.
DisneyStore.com. And if you have your eye on the ball, and you should be signing up every major online store. You should be signing up for their free email newsletters or alerts, or get a free, get a free whatever they call that. But you sign up and you get like their Toys R Us and Disney Store. They send you the alerts when the sales come, and then one day you'll hit it. One day you'll get a sale or a clearance item that, like, everybody, all the other FBA sellers forgot about, and then you're the only one on Amazon selling it.
That's the key. You always want to think outside of the box. But for persons who want, they say, listen, we've done the offline, and we really need to get into more online stuff in terms of getting these fines and getting them sent over to us. What is the service that you offer, and how does it, it differ? How does it stand out? What's the value that persons can, have from joining this service?
Okay, so you're talking about FineSpotter, right?
Fine spotter.
FineSpotter.com. Okay, so
That's
FineSpotter, for people that don't know, it was the first website really to come up and say, for a monthly fee, we, meaning myself and my team, find daily for all the members, the VIP members, pay $47 a month. We find a list of products that are available online. And 80% are online, 20% are like in stores, but like national chains or major regional chains that you can buy to resell on Amazon. And it's usually stuff that people don't really think of. It's not like a list of like hot electronics, and this is stuff that's like a little bit long tail. It's certain toys, or it's certain household products, and I've had very good success with it. I thought it was going to be a failure. I was kind of, I was very excited about it, but I'm like, this idea isn't going to work, and I tested it, and it worked. And if people, we have a whole set of suggested rules. If you're going to be a Fine Spotter member, we suggest you buy quantity 3 to 5 of one item, not 20. And if the sales rank is a certain amount, then you do this. And if there's a certain amount of competing sellers, then you do this. And here's a way to get further discounts. So it's kind of like this whole strategy. When we do present the daily finds to people, we say, don't do this. Make sure you do this. And there's maybe 10% of people cancel, but the people that do stay get it, and they do very well. And I have success stories, and I have to keep a membership cap on the site. That's the Achilles heel, is that I can't be greedy and just let everybody just sign up, because then that brings a whole bunch of sellers buying the same products, and then selling it, and that puts downward pressure on prices. But we've gotten to the point where we carry a very nice balance of letting in a certain amount of VIP subscribers in the hundreds, and then we have so much volume of deals that we're finding every month that there's kind of enough to go around, because nobody's buying the same stuff anyway. Somebody's buying this item, and then somebody's buying this item, and nobody knows who's buying what. But there's so much volume of deals that we're finding now that we don't have to worry about saturation. And that's amongst competition. Now we've got competing sites like Doable Premium Finds is a competitor, is a friendly competitor. Scanner Monkey, although I don't think they do online products, but there's going to be another 6 more websites like FindSpotter. I'm
Right.
sure within the next 2 years. But we'll keep doing it as long as we can do it. I like having competition because it makes me want to add more value, so
And
we
that's
don't get pummeled.
right.
Did that
You
answer your
have to
question?
be yeah, definitely. And that is the key, adding value. But also, my spin on this is if you come in and these are okay, well, couple it's what's your membership cap? It's 250, right? For your VIP.
It used to be. It's a little higher now.
Okay. Now, if you're there and you say, okay, I'm going to be buying these fines and 250 other persons, which is nothing, whatever the number is nothing because there's millions of Amazon persons ready to buy your items. But then, guys, this is where creativity comes in. Don't just follow the herd. This is where your creativity comes in. Create this unique bundle that you are going to be selling exclusively. That's when you stand out from everybody else and you're able to get the sales. I talk about this every week on Spreecast. You have to be creative in your methods to sell online because right now Disney's Elsa doll is very hot and everybody's running out to get them and they can't stay on the shelf. After a while it starts to get saturated and you're going to have a whole ton of them when the demand matches up with the supply. So at the end of the day, how do you stand out? What are you doing that makes your listing stand out from everybody else? And that is the key. So you have to be creative. You have to stand out from everybody else because anyone can go out and find these online deals. But who is being effective in creating them, listing on different marketplaces, setting up nice bundles that complement each other, adding value for the customer. Once they do that, it's a win-win in my book because I get competition every day. I don't worry about competition. Find creative ways to stay ahead of the pack.
You mentioned something very important, Barrington. I want to expound on that. And at first, I know some people in the chat are saying hello, and just because I'm not responding doesn't mean I don't see you. It's like I can't multitask. Like if I talk and I type at the same time, I'll throw up. So I can't do that. But I want to say hello to everybody. I do respect that you're saying hello, and I appreciate that. But I'm very glad you mentioned that because one thing I tell many sellers to do, and not many sellers do this. It's interesting is use those condition notes because the buyers do read them. I have my own podcast now. It's called AskJordan.net and it's on iTunes. And I answer one question per episode, and somebody sent a question that said, "I sell Matchbox cars, and some of them are collector's items. What do I do to like protect them?" And from that comment that he made, I said that's a very good point because some people who want their toys or want their coffee or they want their household items. They want to make sure A, that they're getting exactly what they think they're getting, and B, some of them want to know or some of them are going to actually buy from a seller who's gone to a little bit of a greater length to make sure that the item is what they asked for and it's going to arrive in one piece. So,
Right.
I see very little sellers, particularly sellers that are always doing high volume and they don't pay attention to this stuff. They leave their condition notes blank. And I've actually trumped other sellers with a higher price point, slightly higher, 50 cents or $1 or $2 or whatever, by saying things like for toys, packaged carefully in bubble wrap by a collector of this item, or exactly as shown in the photo, expiration date for food products. I'll say expiration date, case fresh, expiration date July 2016 because there's always going to be a buyer who's going to say, before I buy this, I want to make sure that this stuff isn't going to go stale too soon. And they will make that exception. They'll pay a little bit more, or they will buy just from you, period, knowing that they're getting what they want. Right? You agree, Barrington?
Jerry said yes, yes, and yes. I was looking in the that is absolutely. I mean, this is what I talk about every single week.
Right.
Stand out from everyone else, and look how easy that was just in your listing. I have persons who buy from me from Russia, Jordan. They buy from me from Russia, and you have
I believe
persons
it.
who are on the same listing that I am, and I even alluded one time because the lady was saying, "Hey, I really need to restock. What can I do? You don't have it in stock." And I said, "Just go ahead. There's another seller on there." She said, "No, she's not going to buy. She's going to wait until we get in stock because she knows what she's going to get."
Yes.
That is absolutely critical. I mean, you're just having a repeat customer. That's a
Yes.
repeat customer, and you need to take care of them make sure that that customer is happy at the end of the, probably end of the year. You send them a little thank you card in, whenever you can, send in a thank you card, a personal thank you card. These things go a far way to stand out
And
as a seller from everybody else.
that's a great point. And when other sellers come to me and they're frustrated, they say, "Oh, everybody else is selling this product, or selling on Amazon sucks. I can't do this because there's too much competition and downward prices." I tell them, stick your pricing. You don't have to jump and follow the herd because they're all going to eat each other up and sell out. And you have to. It's selling on Amazon maybe at one point or selling on eBay at one point was a low hanging fruit where you could put anything online and people would buy it. It's no longer like that anymore. You can't just slap stuff up there and expect to be making money. Now you have to be, like Barrington said, creative in
You
making
have
your
to be.
listing stand out, or creating bundles, or waiting for the herd to go by, the herd of other sellers go by and drop all the prices and go away. A lot of my items now I wait for 6 to 9 months before I start touching price, because when I'm putting it there on Amazon in the warehouse, there's 30 other competing sellers, and excuse me, let me just kill this here so we don't get interrupted. And then I wait for the herd to go by, and then I just keep my price. And sometimes it's going to take 6 to 9 months to sell, and other sellers will say, "Well, I can't wait that long. I can't wait 6 to 9 months." Well, just imagine you're going to be saying that 6 to 9 months from now. So
Yep.
make sure you don't have to say that 6 to 9 months from now. Make sure you do it now, and start planning for your sale 6 to 9 months from now by buying items very low and hanging on to them.
That's it. And
Right?
I even look at, I mean, Jordan, I tell persons that I could easily sell on Amazon between September and December and still make enough. I could easily do that because why? If you buy them low enough that you can hold, then
Mm-hmm.
you are able to make greater returns at the end of the year. I've seen that so many times. I have been on Amazon since 2010, the summer of 2010, and
Mm-hmm.
right now there is every Q4 I'm swamped. Every Q4. And it's not that I didn't say, okay, I'm going to prepare and I'm going to prepare and I'm going to prepare, but every Q4, I'm
Yes.
thinking by December 17th, and I have replenishable items. I'm thinking by the 11th or the 12th, I'm flat, done, sold out. Be handling
Yes.
merchant fulfilled orders. I'm sold out. This year,
Yes.
I'm saying I'm going to go in heavy. But guys, it is you can make that money back during the
Mm-hmm.
end of the year. Think
Yes. What's
creatively about what you're going to do.
what Barrington is saying is that all tides rise, or whatever the phrase is that Christmas comes and people lose their minds. And I've been saying this for a while, is that the toy that you could not even give away in July for like $4.25, come Christmas is like $25 to $30,
That's it.
because people lose their minds. And you're right, and you end up in many cases selling out everything you got, because everything lifts. Sales lift during Christmas time. Your prices stay up, demand goes up, and it's really an interesting paradigm.
It's it's a frenzy. I call it a frenzy at the end of the year because everyone and when I really see huge profits between December 5th to about the 21st, because then you have those persons who they didn't remember to do the shopping and they have to get the product right now. They don't care what's on there. It's prime time. They have to get it and they will pay whatever to make it come tomorrow because oh I was late on this and prepare
And
for
people
Q4.
people spoil their kids, man. Their kids want something, and my parents said, if you want this, you're going to get a beating. You know what I mean? But the kids today, they want something, and the parents and the grandparents and the aunts and uncles or whatever, they will do backflips to get their hands on it, as opposed to saying
Yep.
no. But we live in a different
Carol had
world.
a great question for you, Jordan. What about adding a description with keywords in the listing, not when you create the listing itself? It's a tab in the listing that says description. Let me see if I can. I'm not
Yeah,
sure I got your question.
I've never done that. The way that I kind of look at Amazon, particularly for the existing product catalog, is they've kind of already figured that out in terms of findability. There is some, and there's other experts in this that know this better than me. I mean, I bet you, I'm looking at Jessica LaRue's icon right now. She probably has an answer to this, but I think if there's an item that you're the only seller of, meaning the other sellers have sold out, I think you have a way to edit the existing keyword description properties of that item when you're not the original lister. I'm not entirely sure. It's not my forte, and I find generally, I think Amazon kind of, I mean, for most products, Amazon has their ducks in a row in terms of the findability part. I haven't had that hasn't been a challenge for me to that hasn't been a major challenge for me saying, okay, well, I have this product here and nobody's finding it. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So it's as for me, I find that if I'm the creator of the listing, I will do my edits and put my keywords. But as you mentioned, the bullet point descriptions. If you stand out from everybody else, you know there are sellers who are persons or buyers, sorry, who are coming on and they're looking at these listings and they're saying, if I can know that this product is going to expire, March 2015. Yes, it's there. You put it on the packaging when you're sending it in, but because it's in your description, it just makes it so much easier. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy from this seller.
Right.
Very,
Yeah,
very easy. I mean,
that,
it's just a
you're
process.
You're absolutely right, and that comes with, think about the creative things that you can do for other products. If a product's not supposed to be polybagged, and in the first, let me rephrase that. If a product doesn't need to be polybagged to sell, or if a product doesn't need to be bubble wrapped to sell, what happens when you polybag it or bubble wrap it and put that in your description list? It's the buyer's going to be like, wow, this is just a bottle of vitamins, but this guy like bubble wrapped it. He put extra bubble wrap on it, you know. And some people are like that. They want to make sure their bottle of vitamins comes like pristine. There's people who OCD that need that.
Yeah, it's
So
it's it's just the buyer. You have to think about the person who's going to make that purchase. Make it easy for them, add value. They are going to be making the buying decision. So you make it easy for them to make that decision. Even the questions that you potentially think they would have, if that's something that you know and you can put it in that listing, if you know your product that intimately, it will make selling that product way, way easier. What I have noticed too, Jordan, is other persons who are on, listings, they don't take the time. They see a good deal, they buy it, they just throw it up. That's it.
exactly, and I learned that by doing the books is that the high volume sellers of books just say in their description, it's a canned description for many other books. And it'll say may or may not have remainder mark on edge, may or may not have highlighting on 5% of the pages, may or may not have crease on the outside binding, things like that. And there are some people that are going to spend $100 for a book or $50 for a book, some buyers. They want to know exactly what kind of condition it is. So I'll say, exactly as shown in photo, this book has markings on less than 3% of the pages, and the top right corner is bent or whatever, or book is pristine and has zero remainder marks and zero markings inside. People want to hear that.
Right. Nice, nice. Now back to our online sourcing, Jordan. Now these fines that you get for persons, it comes in. How many fines do you send out? Let's say on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, and
Yeah.
what in terms of you mentioned earlier that you gave them different criteria. Do you buy three? Do you buy two? What sales rank do you look for? Because I think this is key because sometimes even when you give persons on a platter and you say, okay, here are some finds, do your research, that's the key, and then go ahead and make a purchase, they still come back, I still don't know what to buy. What do you do? What do you give persons who are a part of your membership base in order to help them to make the best buy possible?
That's a very good point. So I will give there's a like 10 to 12 new finds daily, Monday through Saturday. So that comes to 60, I think 50 to 60 finds per week, and then per month it's like 200. And we don't have like a huge subscriber base. I mean, this is a subscriber base. A VIP is slightly higher than 250 people. So there's a lot for them to choose from. They what I've noticed is that I will give them the sales rank for the item. I'll give them the category. I'll give them the store name. But I've supplemented the overall site with so much video with screenshots talking about not just those products but other products, and people will actually come to me and they'll say, I'm on Find Spotter, Jordan, but I'm really not here for the list of products anymore. I'm actually here because I've learned so much about what to look for. I've actually, and some people quit and they'll quit and they say, Jordan, I've grown too big for you, but I've actually, despite your aside from your list of finds, I've actually learned what to look for and what's hot and when to buy and when not to buy, etc. So it's just for the members. I never expected to do this. For the members, it's just much more than a list with the criteria and data. But we try to keep a mix. We don't do all toys. We try to keep a mix of 50 to 60% toys because those just lend themselves to a lot of profit when you're buying online to resell on Amazon. 20% of our list is baby oriented items, and the remainder is like household stuff, like decorative stuff or like garden planters or what have you. So we try to stay diversified in that regard. Um, and we just tell everybody, just you don't have to buy everything on the list. You can just start buying 3 or 4 stuff, and people make their money back on the subscription fee, $47 a month, or it's less if you pay per year. And people who stick to it make their money back, within a month. So does that answer your question? Because it's there's really no what I fear, what I don't do is that I would try to get too scientific on the list of finds to say, well, there's 50 sellers here and the sales rank is here and this, because all that can change in the course of like a day, right? So you can have a sales rank of 150,000, which I'll still buy for myself to resell, and then 35 sellers, and then the next day the price has gone up, but there's 20 sellers and the sales rank has gone from 150,000 to 70,000. So I don't get scientific. I do myself and train my staff to find stuff that I would actually buy that I would sell myself. And that sometimes that means it doesn't mean stuff that's going to sell tomorrow. That means some stuff that's going to sell in weeks. It means some stuff that sells in a few months. But stuff. One of the criteria is I tell my staff, don't give me anything that's got less than 3 stars if there's an Amazon rating. If it's got less than 3 stars, I don't want it because it's probably a bunk product. If it's got no stars at all, meaning nobody's rated it yet, that's a different story. But I try to avoid things, and of course I avoid things like uh, selling snow shovels in July. You know what I mean? So I don't get too scientific. I just do a gut check, and I everything that's on that list is a gut check. It says I would actually sell this myself. Does that make sense? I can't hear you. Hold on. I lost my audio. Barrington, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I'm gonna refresh. No sound. Oh, Carol Wiley says no sound from Barrington. Jessica says she can hear me, but not Barrington. Check one, two. Check one, two. Oh boy, he left me here by himself. Hello? You guys hear me? Okay, Jessica, can you hear me talk? It looks like Barrington's. It's all alone.
Can you hear me, Jordan?
There he is. There he is. Okay, that was weird.
All right. Yeah.
The whole room, the whole
Spreecast.
room, the whole room switched around. You're on the other side now. What happened?
Yeah.
What are you doing, man?
I'm on the other side now.
Yo,
Other side of the
Barrington, what are you
river.
doing, man? Hey, man, you in there? You in there, man?
I got you.
You knocking on the door over
Ashraf,
there? Okay, all right.
yeah, I don't know. Ashraf from Spreecast just came and said so for some reason the mic was muted. But Carol had a great question that was
Okay.
just in line with what you were saying. Is what's the best way to do online sourcing on your own? Go to the website, look at clearance. That pretty much goes into your method. How do you go about doing online, or tell your staff to do this online research?
That's a great point. So eventually, the usual culprits in terms of where to find stuff come up. A lot of Amazon sellers now know that Toys R Us is a great resource because they're dropping prices on things on toys. Walmart, not so much. Walmart doesn't have a lot of deep discounts on toys versus the prices on Amazon, right? So we have the usual culprits. Toys R Us is one. Zulily is a discount site for like toddler stuff. Zulily.com. It's a like a membership. It's a free membership to sign up, but they have like discounts on like baby and toddler stuff. DisneyStore.com is another one. Rarely, or not more, a little more than rarely, regional retail chain that's online called Boscov's, Boscos. Bonton, Bonton, those two different online retail stores. And I'm probably missing five or six others. LTD Commodities is another one that used to be ABC Distributing. So we don't hold any secrets. All we are, Fine Spotter is just a time saver because for you to actually do it yourself, for you to actually find deals on your own, is going to take you several hours, and I know because I did it. If you do this every day
Tools,
by yourself, it takes
right
several
tools.
hours. You can hire. Many people now are offering virtual assistants that are already trained. I think Andy Do offered one, and there's another fellow. His name escapes me, but he's offering
Eric,
pre-programmed, pre-trained. Yes, that's right, Eric. Right?
Eric
Is it
Hardwick,
Eric? Who's his name?
Eric
And he's
Hardwick.
off
Yeah, he offers.
Eric Hardwick, and he's offering. He's actually I think a Fine Spotter member, but he's offering to anyone a pre-trained virtual assistant for X amount of I forget how much his fee is. But the reality is that you have something that fits everybody's budget. If you don't want to pay anything, you can do it on your own and use
That's it.
some of the built-in tools that are in browsers to price check stuff like Invisible Hand to see what the difference is. Or you can pay $47 a month and be a Fine Spotter VIP member. We have a membership cap right now. We have a waiting list. Or you can spend a few $100s a month, which you'll have to pay somebody from a virtual assistant from the Philippines somewhere between probably to get somebody good somewhere between 200 and 350 a month to be your own dedicated virtual assistant who looks for stuff exclusively for you. And you have to train them, and there's training materials that are out there now that will help you train them. So now you have a choice, right? Which you didn't have a year and a half ago,
That's it.
right?
Tools to make your work easier. So as Jordan just alluded to, you can do this on your own. It's just a time saver. It's tools that you need to make your FBA business grow. And not only FBA, because many persons just say, oh, selling on Amazon. I'm always about online selling in general. Is it Sears Marketplace, eBay, Rakuten? It's online selling. Don't be partial about the marketplaces. People will buy on all marketplaces. I've listed on eBay. I get sales on eBay. I get sales on Rakuten. So you have to just think outside of the box. But as he's mentioned, online sourcing is a great way to, get products to your door, have them repackaged, sent out to Amazon.com. Fair enough.
Let, let's
But
let,
then if
let's
you
let, Sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead,
No, I was
Barrington.
just saying, if you want to have done for you, then you can either hire your own VA, talk to Eric, go to trainvas.com, you'll pay two to $350 a month. You have someone dedicated, they're going to look for what you want them to look for, and if you also have that service. Or you could use Jordan's service where you can, you go in, you get these deals, and you make purchases from these deals.
Yes. Let me give, if you don't mind, Barrington. We can
Go
talk
ahead.
about some free ideas that I can give to everybody who are interested
Sure,
in
great.
buying stuff online. I mentioned it earlier. Make sure that you're signed up for the free newsletter or deals for any major retailer. That could be a local brick and mortar retailer who sends out email bulletins about their weekly specials or whatever. And also, all the major sites, the Toys R Us, DisneyStore.com, for instance, has like this twice in a lifetime sale, or it's twice a year sale where like everything's like 70% off. Or I don't know the exact stats, but some people don't know that until it's too late because they didn't sign up for the, the news bulletin. Get your Toys R Us rewards card and sign up for their rewards program. It's free because you'll get coupons and you'll be alerted to some sales when they happen. I have a free tool I'm going to share with everybody in a minute, but before we get to that, I want to talk about Slick Deals. Slick Deals hates us resellers. Barrington, you know,
I know.
and you got to be
Slickdeals.net.
Slickdeals.net is a forum where people post, and the company. I'd love to know how much money they make, because they must make a lot. But Slickdeals.net is a forum, and a lot of it's crowdsourced of people that go in and say, Kmart.com is having a sale, a fire sale on Justice League of America blankets. They're $5 a piece or whatever. And if you're quick, most of the time you have to be very quick. You can pounce on that and then see what the price is selling for on Amazon and eBay and buy. I just bought from Slick Deals. I was alerted to an Amazon product that I'm going to wait to Halloween to sell on eBay. That was a one of those fancy light up lightsabers that Amazon was selling for $12.99, and they're selling on eBay right now for like $36. So, and they'll probably go up to like 50 during Halloween. But I wanted to let people know about the slickdeals.net, and Barrington posted the link, and all the major stores you can think of sign up for the free bulletins. One thing that I'm also doing now is if you like to buy stuff on eBay, right now is a time that you should be looking for things like Halloween costumes. Now, be careful because some Halloween costumes and Halloween costume accessories are categorized on Amazon in the clothing category.
Yes.
But if they're
Need
if they're
approvals.
categorized if they're categorized in the toy category, which many of the kids costumes still are, and the kids accessories, you can sell them as collectible or used, provided they're 100% complete, etc. So right now, if you like to buy stuff, you should be looking for boy costume lots, girl costume lots on eBay. Anything that comes in a lot, like Disney Toy Story figure lots. You're going to get your hands dirty on this stuff. Some of the stuff's going to be incomplete. Some of the stuff is going to need to be cleaned. But those people that say, I have no idea, I need to buy stuff. I mean, that's a perfect example. That's a perfect example of, and I still do it. I like to experiment with a lot of different sourcing strategies. I don't just stick to one. And I buy stuff on eBay and I have it shipped to my house and I'm cleaning it, you know, and I'm putting pieces together and I'm figuring out what's missing, you know, and
No.
that's one thing for you to look for is figure out a toy or an item, even Cuisinart kitchen stuff, whatever Christmas ornament, Rudolph, whatever you, and then add the word lot, LOT to it, and do a search on
Right.
eBay. And the stuff that's ending, typically the auctions that are ending at like a ridiculous hour in the morning, like 3 a.m. Eastern time,
AM to AM.
is
Right.
the stuff with the low hanging fruit. And Steve Lindhorst made a book recently, and I forget the title of it, but he mentioned something very interesting. Is that because eBay has made it so simple for the sellers to list now using a mobile app, sellers are
Yes.
making very sparse listings, and they're putting stuff up for buy it now or auction. The listing is so sparse, the buyers are like, I'm not going to buy this. But your risk
Right.
now as an eBay buyer is very low. So if you're able to kind of figure out, well, this kind of looks like a good deal, I'm going to bid on this, I'm going to buy this. Your chances are greater now for the people for when you're buying stuff from sellers that are listing on a mobile platform because they're not making the listing look pretty. It's a low quality listing.
Listing.
You know,
Right. So you can take advantage of
Barrington,
that.
I don't want this to go by unseen. I made a free plugin. I don't know if you can see this. If I don't know if
Yes.
anybody
Clear.
here,
I'll put it up for you.
gordonmount.com. Okay, it's free, and for any of you that sell on eBay, including you, Barrington, this is a free plugin, a free extension. You have to be using the Chrome browser. The
It's on
Chrome
the screen. You
browser.
can click on it.
Thank you.
It's in the chat box. You can go ahead and click on that.
Thank you. All the information's there. It's a plugin that lets you whether you're looking at an email or you're looking at a product online on Kmart or Amazon or whatever. It lets you immediately see the completed eBay listings for that item. It's the only one of its kind. There's
Nice.
no other. There's thank you. There's no other plugin that does this, and I'll tell you why I had this created. I developed this. I paid for this out of my own pocket. It's free for anybody. There's no catch. There's no affiliate links in there. Nothing. But the reason why had that done is that I probably like you, Barrington, when I'm on Slick Deals, and I saw a deal that I wanted to sell on Amazon or eBay. You've got sometimes like literally seconds to figure out is this item good for me to sell? Let's just talk about eBay. Is this item good for me to sell on eBay? And then you got to go on to ebay.com, type in the title,
Right.
hit search, wait for the results, then click on completed listings to see what's green, what's sold, and what's red, what hasn't sold, and kind of see what that is.
Yes.
This one makes this plugin makes that process that will run you 30 seconds to a minute. It just happens in seconds. And I didn't think I was going to get the feedback I have been getting back. People love it. So you have to have the Chrome browser. If you're using Internet Explorer, Firefox, it's not going to work.
Not gonna work.
It's a Chrome extension. I use Chrome because it's the least buggy browser, and all the instructions in the videos are there, and it will help you as a tool to quickly see the completed listings for any item. You could get Barrington, if you got an email from Slick Deals and it was just text, and it said
Yes.
Darth Vader lightsaber, all you got to do is highlight the text and then right click your mouse, and
And it
then
will
you
tell
have
you.
an option. It's got my face on it. It's got my face on it, so you can. No, it does. So you know which icon to press, and as soon as you press that, a new browser window shows up with the completed listings on eBay.
And
That's so that
again, guys,
that's
that's online sourcing.
yes, it is online sourcing. And if you're, oh, I get a lot of sellers. If I have a minute to say this, I get a lot of Amazon sellers that will come to me and they say, Jordan, I can't find this item on Amazon. Should I buy it to resell? Here's another way for you to use this plugin is to see what it's selling for on eBay in the completed listing. So if you find an item that's in Kmart, like, well, it's not in the Amazon catalog, we'll use the app and see what the completed price. Because usually, if it's selling for say $20 on eBay, that probably means you're going to get $30 or more for it on Amazon, by example.
Yes. Research tool.
I use it. That's right, research tool. Yes. So
Kevin was
I've
asking if it
talked a
works
lot.
for mobile. No, Kevin was
I
asking
have.
if it works for mobile.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, it doesn't. And actually, Chrome extensions, for the most part, this is a Chrome extension. Chrome extensions do not work at all on the mobile version of Chrome. So that's like a higher Google issue or something. This is a research
That's
tool. Really, you're really not going to be able to leverage this unless you're kind of like at your desk, kind of power working. You know what I mean?
But that's an excellent tool, Jordan. Right now, I'm telling you, person, you're coming on this free cast, and again, you're getting great information. Now it's up to you to take action. How many
Right.
more persons do you think are going to be really using this tool that are your competition? Maybe not a lot. But this gives you inside data for completed listings. And if you don't know anything about selling on eBay, eBay has a history of what's completed. So you can have an idea of, okay, what did this sell for? Did it just sell yesterday? Did it sell the day before? And as Jordan mentioned, if it's selling for $45 on eBay, you can be guaranteed you're going to get $65 usually or higher on Amazon because the Amazon buyer pays more. That's just how
Exactly.
it works. That's the dynamic of it. And I did that I bought, when the circuit cities were around and I was in school in Florida, I bought I got a text from Slick Deal that says, Circuit City is going to have buy one, get one on Transformers DVD, and it's going to be on Tuesday. And that's the great thing about Slick Deals. So I went ahead and I drove to every single Circuit City in my area. I went to the cashier and she was saying, there's not buy one. I said, just ring it up. And do you know how I knew that? The persons on Slick Deals who made the post said, remember, your cashier is going to say this deal doesn't exist because they don't know. They don't know in the stores, but just ask her to ring it up. I went there, asked her to ring it up. I bought a whole cart of these.
Hmm.
I went on the completed listings. I saw how much these things were selling for, and I think I listed about 45 of them, all sold overnight.
Wow,
Everything
that's
sold
awesome.
overnight because
And
I
let me
paid for
ask
one,
you,
the next one's profit.
how quickly did you have to move overall? Did you have seconds to spare? Probably not, right?
Nope. You had to
Right.
jump on it fast.
And that's why whenever I create a tool, whether it's free, whether it's clear, this plugin we just talked about, the extension, or whether it's FindSpot, my whole goal is just to cut your time down. Whoever's buying the tool or using it is the whole goal is to cut your time down because unfortunately we live in this world of the internet where everything's high speed and you find a deal and you got to make a decision very, very quickly on whether or not you're going to buy it.
Instantly. Especially Slick Deals. They give you, okay, this one is hot. When you see that fire symbol on Slick Deals,
Hmm.
that means this thread is hot. It's going
And
to be sold out
it sells
extremely
out
quickly.
right. You're absolutely right. It
Oh,
sells out right away. And it's Slick Deals, by the way, for those people who are listening. Sometimes Amazon will do a price mistake. A bunch of sellers will have their repricer automatically going, and somebody by accident will price something very low. I have an example of that in one of my videos, I think, and by accident they do it, and somebody from Slick Deals catches on, and they'll post. They'll say these headphones that were $200 is now $50, and whoever jumps on it right away gets it, but you have like minutes, and then Amazon either catches a mistake or the price goes back up.
yes. So it's Ryan. How are you, man? Ryan Mateska. He's here. He's the master of the flips. Kara had a question for you, Jordan. It's what kind of quantity can you order as a typical online order? Yeah, that's a good question because sometimes you're limited to two, or what kind of quantity can you order on a typical online order? Is there a limit? And do you set up for another user for multiple online orders? How do you handle that part of it?
What are you, Barrington? Are you referring to Find Spotter or just what I do in general?
No, just online orders. Let's say you found a deal online, even persons in FindSpotter, and they wanted to make a purchase. Do you notice that
Okay.
there's a cap on there, or what
Yeah,
quantity do you have to buy?
sometimes if a product is hot, like you can bet if Toys R Us comes back out with this doll you were talking about from the Frozen movie, you bet that they're probably going to have a thing that says limit two per customer. And that is either if you want to abide by those rules and buy what the limit is, that's one thing. By accident, and I swear this is by accident, I do have several Amazon buyer accounts, and I do have several Toys R Us accounts. So what are they? Some of the other sites? When I used to buy stuff from Woot, which I don't do anymore, but it's not illegal. But I would log on as one user, buy the maximum quantity of six, log off, and log back in as the other user, and do that three times. I actually did that. I did that a lot with Amazon, buying stuff to resell on eBay around Christmas time because Amazon cut some prices in a ridiculous fashion in the weeks leading up to Christmas, and I have three different Amazon accounts by accident. And I would buy, and I bought a lot of stuff that I resold on eBay for 4 or 5 times the price that I paid. So I have no problem with telling somebody open up a second account. Usually, have to do it under a separate email, and that's the only thing you need is a different email address. Emails are free, Gmail or whatever, and you can even have the same credit card info. And I've never been stopped. I had to pay for Prime for two accounts or three accounts, but it's worth it.
Yep. So guys, there are your, basic tips. It's something that you can, that tool that you just gave Jordan, the Clear. I am sure if persons are on this freecast and they take action on using that tool, you will see how much more you can make quicker decisions. Because, as I said, with usually deal sites, when they put these deals out, they're going to be limited, and you have to take action very quickly. So you
Yes,
need to get all the information instantly to make that decision, because that's going to be where you need to make the decision instant within five
yeah,
minutes, or it's going to be sold out.
you're right. You're right. And Slick Deals. No, we don't want to harp on Slick Deals so much, but I'm sure that there's other deal sites. You can use this on any website that you're looking at. Anything that has the product title, you just highlight the product title. So maybe many of you who are selling on eBay already, maybe you have a typical roster of sites that you visit to buy stuff low then resell high. You can use this app for any of them to check at your own pace to see what the completed listing prices are.
Sean had that question. Is there a good Sean? The tool just came up. Jordan had the tool. It's jordanmalik.com
He's
forward
referring
slash
to
clear.
Amazon, I think. Sean is
Oh,
referring to Amazon versus eBay,
it's
right?
AZ. Okay, it's AZ.
So,
Probably
yeah.
need to figure something out.
So that's a good point. The Clear tool is for eBay. It checks eBay completed listings. Sean, if you find a product that you've already sold on Amazon and you want to buy it again and you want to wait for the price to drop, you can set up an alert over at Camel Camel Camel. It's the word camel three times. CamelCamelCamel.com. You can get a free account with them, and I've done that. I found a product that I liked that I bought from Amazon at a low price and I resold on eBay for a high price. And I said, I'm going to track this one in case the price drops again. And I've done this several times. So I'll go to CamelCamelCamel.com, find the product. They let you track it. They'll say if this price drops below, say, $10, send me a text. Excuse me, send me an email. And I actually months later I got the email and it said it's been dropped to this price and I actually did buy it. And I have some stuff that had been sitting as an email alert for months. I forget about it. And I just got an email alert the other day for a specific book that dropped price from a third party merchant on Amazon that I'm buying to resell on Amazon because I can do that because it's not being shipped to me prime. The item's being shipped to me from a third party seller. I bought that book and now I'm reselling it on Amazon as a FBA seller for like 5 times the price of what I paid. That makes
Hey,
sense.
Jordan, thank you. Yep, makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure.
We're
Thank
up
you.
on the hour. It's, we really appreciate this. Great tips for everyone
Thank
that's
you.
on the call. Guys,
Glad to be here.
excellent
Thank you.
information. Excellent information. So you want to go ahead, take action with this information. Jordan's site, I did post it earlier, which is the Find Spotter. If you want to get these, the list of all these tools that you need to really take your business to the next level, you could just go ahead, join in there. As Jordan said, he works to make it easy for you. And that's the
That's right.
key, making it all easy. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Look forward to great things. I know you're going to come up with a lot of tools moving forward. Guys, nice having you and see you again next week.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
All right. I'll put that up again.
Don't forget, Arrington.
Yes.
They want you asked me for the link of all my affiliates. They want that or no?
Right. It's right there. Find Spotter.
Oh,
I'll
you
put it
have
on
it. Yeah.
screen.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay. That's how
All
to
right, guys.
contact me. Thank you very much.
Take care.